I literally rolled out of my bed with the same drawers from the night before. No brushing my teeth, no breakfast, just coffee in the car, straight to the shop. And it's because the day before I had cut hair for 15 hours straight. No lunch breaks, no gym, no meals, nothing, right? Just 15 hours back to back, nonstop, which might seem like a dream for most barbers, right? Unfortunately, that's just not the reality, right? You can get booked up the entire day, make a bunch of money, but at the end of the day, I was burning myself out. I had terrible habits. I smoked weed every single day. I got drunk any moment I could, and I gambled every dollar that I could. Literally, any dollar I had in my pocket, I gambled it. So, the reason I'm making this video is because I know there's someone out there that is dealing with the exact same problem that I had, right? No time for yourself, no time for your family. You literally roll out of bed with the same drawers like I did, cut hair all day, which sounds like a dream, but in reality, you're frustrated because you don't even know what really matters anymore. You don't feel anything. I remember sitting there just wondering, I got the 15K months, I got the private studio, but every day I feel like I'm in the same exact spot as the day before. Next thing you know, it's been 3 years. I was 23 years old. This was back in 2023. And I was making good money. But the problem was that money was being spent on all the wrong things. Now that I'm making 15K a month, I can go smoke whatever I want, the best weed possible. I can go stay up as late as I want. I make my own schedule. And so the problem with that is the freedom. And people don't understand the freedom that it takes, or people don't understand the freedom that comes with being a barber, right? They think it's cool that you run your own shop, and everybody around me was telling me I was doing so good. And that was the most frustrating part, is that everyone around you is telling you, Marco, you're doing so good. You got your own business, you make your own schedule, you get good money, but they don't understand what it takes to keep that and maintain that every single month. And so late nights, gambling, smoking, drinking, I didn't feel anything anymore. I could make 15K a month, gamble half of it, lose it all, come back the next month and make it right back. And it's a never ending cycle. So I was just so frustrated. I didn't understand what it meant to make that type of money and actually keep it. I didn't understand anything at that point. I was just lost. And at the time I was staying with my mom. I was literally living in her house. So I didn't really have any bills aside from the 3 cars that I decided to buy and the $2,700 a month studio I decided to rent. And to be honest, I don't regret any of it, right? I think these lessons, well, actually, I know these lessons are what make us as men. But a lot of people don't want to go through these things, so they stay exactly where they're at. Now, again, I wouldn't go back and change anything because it made me the man that I am today. But the reason I'm making this video is so that you don't have to make the same mistakes that I made. Or if you're in the same exact position that I'm talking about right now, you can change because I did, right? So it was just a dark place. I was in a dark place and everybody around me was telling me how good I was doing, but I didn't realize those were the wrong people to get validation from. The only person I should have got validation from was myself and God. But I was looking for it from everybody else, buying the designer clothes, spending my entire paycheck that week on a flight where I shouldn't even been traveling, right? Spending money, not making money, going in debt, doing all the things that I thought were cool before I got money. But now that I got money, I'm like, I'm doing it all. So that was the problem. I didn't have any self-control, any self-respect, and I just did what I felt. And that was very selfish of me, right? I got my mom's bills that I could have been paying. I got my brother I could have been paying, helping with whatever he wanted. I could have been sending money to anybody in my family, but I decided to spend it on things that don't help me. It was literally making me go in circles every month. And a lot of people will tell you, bro, don't smoke, don't drink, don't gamble, don't do all these things, right? But I was so deep in it that I can say it speaking from experience. I was so deep in it, bro. Like, I would smoke 5 blunts with the homies in the car. I'd wake up in the morning and not even know where I went, right? The night before, I couldn't even explain what I had done. I would wake up smelling like weed, thinking I didn't, when we all know you reek. But I would talk to my mom and she would be like, so what'd you guys do last night? Like, where'd you guys go? And I would have to think for 5 minutes, where did we go last night? I don't even remember what we did. And then I got to rush to the barbershop, cut hair all day. and it's a never ending cycle. So my point is, you can be making all this money as a barber or anybody, but if you're spending it on the wrong things, it's not going to do any good for you. So you're probably feeling frustrated because, again, you're making good money, but it's not feeling like satisfying. It's not feeling like the dream that we thought when we first started cutting hair or when we first got into our business. So use that frustration as leverage, use it as fuel to your fire to get to that next level, because that's what I did. And that's what's going to help you too. So don't get frustrated and get down on yourself. Tell yourself there's a way out because other people did it, so you can too. So again, use that frustration as an advantage, not a disadvantage. Those tests are what make you strong. It's not about, oh, you made a mistake, you were fucking your money off, you were gambling, doing drugs. That actually makes you stronger when you turn it around. You can go this low and still come this high. That's the real testament. So use it to your advantage. And the first thing that I would do if I was back in that position would be to drop everybody that's around me that isn't supporting me for what I'm trying to do. Because at the end of the day, I wanted to get to that next level, charge $100 a cut, get to $20K a month. But the people around me wanted to keep me in that box. They wanted to keep me comfortable. And that's the biggest thing that will hold somebody back, is their comfort. All these vices, all these bad habits are keeping us comfortable. And that's what creates the frustration, is that it keeps us comfortable short term, but long term, we're so uncomfortable. The only reason we're smoking, drinking, partying, gambling is to distract us and keep us away from the reality that we know we should face. So once you can do that, and once you can separate from those people that are keeping you in that box, you'll be able to get to the next level. And so the second thing that you need to do is start tracking your thoughts. Start tracking your income, your expenses. Start tracking anything that you go through throughout the day, because it's so easy to get some money, spend it. It's so easy to go through certain situations and not reflect on it. And if we don't do that, you're not going to be able to change those things that you went through. You're not going to be able to make more money if you don't track what you already have. That was one of my biggest mistakes, is I was making all this money and it was just going straight out the window, but I wasn't paying attention to it. So there's a reason why I ended up with no money at the end of the month. And so you just got to be mindful of everything you're doing throughout the day. You got to have intention with everything that you do. If you don't, you're not going to have control over yourself. You're just going to be, they like to say, drifting. You're just going to be drifting through this world, letting things pass you by, letting opportunities pass you by. So track your thoughts, track your numbers, track your life, and then you'll be able to level up. And the third and last thing that you have to do to break these bad habits and free your frustration is you got to start focusing on your health, and you got to replace the bad habits with the good. So now that we have clarity, now that we know what we want, we know what we need, we're tracking our thoughts, and you have good people around you. Even if you don't have people around you, it's better to have yourself than a bunch of negative people telling you all these things. So once you have all those things, you got to replace those bad habits that you were doing with good habits. Okay, so if you were smoking weed, start drinking more water and drop the weed. If you were going out to the club, start going to the gym and drop the club. Whatever that may look like for you, drop it and replace it with a good habit. We don't want to just drop these habits and just be sitting around on the couch, right? So drop those bad habits, acquire some good habits, and just start focusing on yourself, because once you get clear and once you have everything you want in front of you, you can think for yourself and you can start pouring into yourself. And once you do that, your cup is going to overflow and start affecting everyone around you. Your friends are going to start working out. Your family's going to start eating healthier. All of your people are going to drop their vices. So it's way bigger than you, bro. You got people around you depending on you, and you folded, okay? And that's fine, because again, this is the biggest testament that you'll have. So as low as you are right now, the only way is up. And so I had to hit rock bottom to get to this point where I'm at now, but you don't have to. And if you are at rock bottom right now, use this video as a sign to free your frustration and use it as a fuel for your growth. And for myself, what really made me want to change is I just sat there and thought, imagine if I dropped all my vices. Imagine if I actually started doing the things that I told myself in the back of my head. Imagine if I actually took that step and became the man that I knew I could be. That's what kept me going. That's what really got me started. It's just imagining that 10.0 version of myself and thinking, damn, I could really be somebody if I just cut all this bullshit. I've had enough. And a lot of you guys are either there right now or you're getting close to that point where you're saying, I've had enough of this shit. I cannot do it no more. I refuse. And so I got down to 135 pounds. Again, no lunch breaks, smoking weed, sipping alcohol, sipping lean, gambling all my money away. I was at rock bottom. And again, I told myself, that's enough. Like, I'm gonna die. I'm either gonna die or somebody's gonna kill me in this lifestyle. So something has to change. And that's when I started turning my life around and turning that frustration into freedom. So I'm currently at 200 pounds. I've been sober for over a year now, and it was the best decision of my life. And again, if you're sitting there thinking, bro, weed's not even that bad, bro, it doesn't control me, I'm not addicted, that's what an addicted person would say, right? And I was saying the same thing. I used to love weed. I used to love how it smelled. I used to love how it made me feel. I also just thought it was cool because that's what everybody was doing. And I thought that if I dropped smoking weed, my friends would leave me. And that's exactly what they did. And that was the best thing that could have happened for me. Now I'm only around people that care about their health, their family, and enjoying the life that we have on this earth, because life is short. So with your time on this earth, make sure you're living a life worth living. So if you made it to the end of this video, I know that you're in the right spot. So to free your frustration, drop the people around you that are not lifting you up to the best version of yourself. Start tracking everything, your thoughts, start tracking your income, your expenses, your meals, your workouts. Start tracking everything and be mindful of every action that you take. And the last thing, once you get clarity on your life and what you want, start putting your health first, start pouring into yourself, because at the end of the day, we cannot serve the people around us if we don't serve ourselves first. And that's how you free your frustration.